Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, Ask the Experts, a live bi-weekly show to help you know what to do and what's new in digital marketing for 2021 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading experts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, your show host and also Business Development Manager at Engage. On behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I'm so excited to welcome you to today's show. Today's topic is incredible. So if you are tuning in right now, you are in for a treat. We are going to be talking about why video, live streaming, video communications, video content is a must-have for all aspects of business and business growth in 2021 and beyond. And our award-winning speaker and best-selling author is going to be sharing with us how we can use this invaluable tool to really outshine your competitors. So stick around. We have an amazing talk planned for you today. And now is the time. If you think that today's topic is a topic that is absolutely a must-see for your colleagues or friends in the business, now's a perfect time to share this link, this show link, and invite them into today's interactive talk. We always welcome questions and comments, and I know today's guest expert has a lot to say and a lot of information to share, and I don't want you or your colleagues to miss it. So share the link right now, invite your friends and colleagues to join us in today's interactive talk. And also, don't forget that after my talk with today's special guest, I'll be sharing our Engage digital marketing news of the week as well. And today's topic for that really ties in with our talk. So I may keep our special guest around for a little question and answer on today's digital marketing news of the week as well. Now, before we get started, I want to mention that all of this valuable information and today's show is brought to you by Engage. If you're not familiar with Engage, Engage is a platform that gives you 25 plus free forever sales and marketing tools to not only help you grow and scale your business, but also help you provide the best customer experience and optimize customer experience for your customers. When you visit engage.com, you will find tools to help you optimize that customer experience. And you can do that two ways. You can help provide convenience for your customers because, as we all know, happy customers buy more, they convert faster, they return less, and they remain loyal. So you can provide convenience for your customers by making it convenient for them to communicate with you. And you can do that with the tools at engage.com by engaging with customers where they are. Engage with them when they're visiting your website. Have a live chat box there. Or engage with them through mobile apps and their mobile devices. The tools at Engage will help you do that. You can also use the tools at engage.com to build trust. You can do that by personalizing engagement and product recommendations. And of course, at Engage, you can find the tools that are free forever to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put on the screen the engage.com website so you can screenshot that and be sure to visit it after today's show. Okay, without further ado, it is time for me to welcome our very special guest. She is joining us today live from Houston, Texas. Welcome to the show, Miss Rachel Wilson Thibodeau. If you don't know Rachel, you need to. Rachel is an award-winning speaker, an inbound marketing and brand strategist, and to top it off, she's a podcast host and Amazon best-selling author. Bam. That's quite the introduction. Her second book, Brand Sell Profit, Slay Your Brand, Sell Like a Champ and Profit Like a Boss, has been a game changer for many entrepreneurs and marketers. She's waving it around, and other brand builders. She is the founder of Swag Strategy Solutions, where swag is not just a cool name, although we have to admit swag is pretty cool, it's also an acronym. And I think this is wonderful. It stands for Strategic Women Achieve Growth. Bam, love that. Impact driven women business owners, particularly those with backgrounds in corporate and education, along with service providers and experts, turn to Rachel and her company when they need to clearly define their brand, strategically position their offers and messaging for converting customers. One of her superpowers, and I should say one of many, is creating and helping monetize amazing value propositions that don't sound like those coming from everyone else, making it special and true to you and your brand. And just so you know, Rachel is allergic to average and gets mad at mediocrity. So, to end my introduction for Rachel, a few other little tidbits. She loves God, her husband, a good book. I'm with you there, Rachel. Business, and especially pasta and chocolate. And sometimes chocolate and pasta take priority. But Rachel says, do not judge her because she is an expert at two things that many people struggle with. And that is eating pasta, presumably without spilling it on your white top, right? And wearing high heels and rocking them. These are two skill sets she believes are very undervalued. Rachel is an all around breakthrough, and she believes in helping her clients break through to more clarity, more visibility, and ultimately what everyone wants, more profitability. And she is here today to teach us and help us understand why video is a must have for all aspects of business growth this year and in the years to come. And I'm so excited to hear what she has to say. Rachel, I don't think you can be mad at that introduction because you've earned every word I just said. Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, and thank you for being today's expert.
Thank you, Marissa. No, I'm not mad at that intro at all.
You've done a lot. We're so excited to have you. And I want to start off today's show by just asking you, Rachel, if you could share a little bit more with us about the path that has led you to become such an incredible entrepreneur and also to become the founder of Swag Strategy Solutions. Tell us a little bit about the path that took you there.
Wow. Well, I spent over 16 years in corporate America, and I'd like to think I don't look like I spent that long in corporate America, but I did. And I had done some entrepreneurial things kind of throughout my career. I did some consulting, I did some speaking, I did some real estate investing. So there was always kind of this entrepreneur pull. But frankly, for a long time, I figured I would kind of climb that corporate ladder and retire from a job. I mean, I enjoyed the jobs I had while in corporate America. For the most part, I really enjoyed. And I certainly enjoyed my regular paycheck and my nice benefits. And so that's what I saw for myself at first. But the last 2 or 3 years, I was on my last job, things really started to shift it. Things shifted at that job and in that company. And some of the support that I felt that I really had in that role, I no longer had. There were changes in, staffing and what have you. You all know these things happen. And I felt that pull more and more. And my job became more demanding as well. And during that time, I got married. I got married back in 2012. I left my job in 2013. And the last year or so, it was really kind of, it was difficult. It was challenging. And so some things happened in particular the last 6 months. And I always tell people I was not fired from my job, but I was put in a position where I felt I really didn't have much of a choice. And so I left. I quit, and I didn't have a concrete plan. I mean, the plan was starting to form, and I'm a spiritual person. And so I had been really talking to God about this, and he hadn't initially been saying a lot back. But when I made that decision, I felt really clear in making that decision. And so, yeah, I left my job in August of 2013. It's a little scary that it's coming up on 8 years. And I know I wanted to kind of make a shift because I spent most of my career in financial services and in sales roles, relationship management. And although it was in financial services, I know I wanted to shift more to brand strategy and marketing because that was really my first, or those were my first loves. I started out as a marketing major and then added finance as a double major. So the first love was really, really marketing. And so I know I wanted to kind of pivot into that. And so I did. And it was scary. It's been an adventure, but one that I wouldn't change, at least not too much.
Well, I think the timing to have you on as a guest is incredible because things did shift in 2020 and they're still shifting in 2021 as digital marketing becomes more and more the expectation and more the norm, especially as we're all
Yeah.
connecting through things like Zoom and video. And to kick off our talk today about the power of video and why it's such an invaluable tool, Rachel, we put together some statistics. Now, check these out. I'll read them
Okay.
through for those of you who may be listening, but if you're watching this webinar, read through these with me because they're incredible. 80% of content consumed on the internet is video. LinkedIn reports that live streaming on LinkedIn Live has grown in popularity by 158% from the first to the third quarter of 2020. 158% in just 9 months. That is incredible. And live videos on LinkedIn average 7 times more reactions and 24 times more comments. Hey, speaking of comments, if you're watching this show with us today live, you have a question or a comment for Rachel, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Rachel, when I read those statistics out loud, what's the first thing that comes to mind in terms of the way video is really changing and how important it is?
Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit here, Marissa. That first stat really jumps out at me because I remember seeing that in like 2017, 2018, the projection was being made that by 2020, 80% of content, online content, would be video. Actually, I remember seeing that as far back as probably 2016. And I remember thinking, wow, I mean, that's a big number. And it happened. I mean, it has pretty much happened. And so it just goes to show you the power of video and how much it has grown.
Absolutely. And one thing we're going to talk about today is video is not just recording a video and popping it up as content. Video really has a lot of different uses in your marketing strategy and as you brand yourself. And I don't want to give away everything you want to share with us, Rachel, but I think it would be wise for us to read through this together because maybe someone just tuned into our live stream and they're like, "Oh yeah, I do videos, right? I pop up a video once a week or I do Zooms or what have you." But the reach and use and the ways that we can use video, if you put it in a list like we did, far exceeds even what I've realized. So let's look at this together. And I'll read it for those of you who are listening audibly. So, video uses in digital marketing, messaging, promotion on social media by way of reels, stories, and shorts, business explainer, meaning business, videos where you're explaining who you are and what you do, demos, product intros, how-to videos, training videos, and then as you and I are doing right now, live streaming shows and live streaming events. And these, I think, are maybe even just a few. Rachel, you probably can come up with more. But speaking of live streaming, I know that's a hot topic and a hot button for you. So why don't we start our talk just with you sharing a little bit about the power of live streaming? What do you think about live streaming? How important is that in a business model and your, strategic marketing plan?
Yeah, live streaming is big because I really think and video in general, but live streaming in particular is really the next best thing to being in person with someone. It gives someone the opportunity to really get to know you or get a feel for you. Maybe not to know everything about you, but they get a feel for you, especially if you're a thought leader or you're looking to establish yourself as a thought leader, an expert. If you are a business, a brand, it gives your audience and hopefully your target audience the chance to really get to know more about your products, your services, your brand, the message. And so it's really powerful because it allows you to really connect with your audience in a way that is not really there with email, with text, and although you can be creative with those strategies, it's just not the same as video. And live streaming in particular is great because what we're seeing more and more, for one, the consumer is becoming smarter, has become smarter. The consumer also is probably a bit nosier than 5-10 years ago. We want to know about the people we look up to, influencers, brands, the companies that we love. We want to see the behind the scenes. We want to know what's really going on, even sometimes beyond the business aspect or beyond whatever that product and service is. And so live streaming definitely offers a chance to do that. I mean, for you to be kind of in real time with your audience
I
and
agree with
potential
you.
buyers.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I like that you brought up that customers want to know more now than they ever did
Yeah.
before. We've brought up in the past during prior shows the idea that when a CEO of a company is visible and they're on social media and they are in the digital space, that creates that essence of trust for customers because they feel like the CEO is involved, transparent, a part of this growth that we're all going through. So I think along that same principle and that idea that you just mentioned, now that customers have more ways to access information, more outlets, they have the internet, they have social media, they can read reviews, right? The power of reviews is incredible. It
Mm-hmm.
makes sense that customers want to know more about the businesses they're buying from. And when you do something like host a live stream, whether it's live streaming maybe from an event that is actually happening or doing a live stream of a product unboxing, when a customer has the chance to see maybe how an employee speaks or acts or what a CEO has to say in their own words or how they answer questions, all those things, those human things certainly have the chance to influence a customer and truly they are powerful. We all want that human connection,
Yeah.
even though we also are like, text me, don't call me, So let me ask you about live streaming. Oh, is that your pup trying to join in today's live stream?
Somewhat, but I think
Feel
she's
free to
okay.
introduce if the time is right. I'm not mad. I love dogs.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
If it's a little one and he hops on your lap, it's
Yeah.
okay. He can be our
Yeah.
first engaged pooch guest expert. Let me ask you, when it comes to live streaming, because we're right now, living that world. We're live streaming to LinkedIn Live. Do you have any tips? Because the one thing I think is incredibly important is being consistent. So,
Oh,
what do
yeah.
you think makes a live stream successful in terms of, I don't know, consistency or topics
Ooh.
or, you know,
Well,
what's that?
consistency certainly helps, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with. Although there are ways certainly to overcome that. I mean, it really at the end of the day is simple. I mean, you really just have to decide how important this is to you and that you're going to show up. And if that's once a week, if that works for you, if you can commit to that, then you do it once a week. If it's 2 or 3 times a week and that works for you, then you do it. If it's once every other week, it just depends on what works for you, what works for your audience. But I would also say really positioning yourself and being clear about your position and positioning your brand, what it is you do, because that's what people most care about. It's interesting because some of my clients, and I hear this all the time, I mean, from clients, from friends and people part of my network, there are concerns about being on video and going live and fear and often they're kind of trivial things. Now I know sometimes we don't think they're trivial, but really in the grand scheme of things, they're trivial. Like, I just don't look good on video, my hair, my makeup, I don't like the sound of my voice. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of the sound of my voice either, but I have gotten used to it and just accept it. I don't really like the sound of my voice, although I've got compliments about my voice. I've gotten compliments about me speaking, but I don't really like the sound of my voice. So that's not a great excuse, because again, it's not about you. All those things I just mentioned, it's more about me. And you have to realize this is more about your audience. And so once you realize that, once you also realize it's not going to be perfect. I know you want it to be perfect. And especially some of my ladies out there. And yes, I'm going to say it because I work mostly with women. We tend to have more of an issue, a thing with that than men. Not saying that it doesn't affect men at all, but we are more concerned about this perfection thing. It's not going to be perfect. But that is okay, because your audience, I know this may be a newsflash, your audience is not perfect. And a number of them actually don't want to see perfect. They want to see real. They want to see some bloopers. They want to know that you're a real person. And that applies if you're a CEO, if you're a president, if whatever title you have, they want to connect with you. And so often you have to kind of shift your mindset before going live or before adopting a live stream strategy, because yes, you want to show up in the best way you can. You want to connect well with your audience, but that doesn't always require a Hollywood production. It requires you to show up, for you to care, for you to be committed, and for you to be more concerned about impact.
I think that that is a valid point, because when we think about the videos that have gone viral in our lifetime
Yes.
so far, usually it
Yeah.
is a blooper. Usually it is something that the world can relate to, or a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
story, and it's shot on a grainy camera of somebody helping a homeless person, right? You know, you
Exactly.
don't have the lights and the action and the Hollywood behind some of the videos that have gone viral. And I think you brought up a great point about being consistent. Be consistent if you're going to do a live stream, but consider what is going to work for you. Is it going to be once a week? Well, stick with it. If you can't do once a week and it's going to be the last Saturday of every month, stick with it. It's almost
Right.
like, I know you have a podcast, you can't start doing a podcast every Monday and Friday and do that for 3 months straight and start to get a following, and then fall off and say, oh, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just not going to do it for 3 weeks, because you're going to go like 10 steps backwards. So being consistent is
Yeah.
key. I do think, though, and maybe this is a good time for me to talk about some of the tools that you can use for a live stream. Two things. I do think if you can have proper equipment, it can help the production value, right? So like
Yeah, absolutely.
a ring light, a microphone that you can trust and that works well, a good camera. Those are probably the three things you're going to want for a live stream. And then also deciding on a platform or software. We use StreamYard. So check that out if you're looking for, a platform to use for your live stream. And then also, I'm thinking about this, Rachel. Fun fact, and we'll bring it up a little later with our Engage Digital News of the Week, but Engage Live just launched a few weeks ago, and that is a division of our company that actually helps people produce live streams for them.
Ooh.
So now, if someone is nervous to do it or doesn't know how, or maybe they don't want to host it and they want to be interviewed by a host, Now they have no excuse because Engage Live can actually help them in the process of creating their live stream.
Yeah, I was just thinking, no excuse.
There's no
The
excuses
support
now.
is
And you
out
know what?
there.
I didn't like my voice and I still don't. And I get compliments on it too. So we all need to get over ourselves. And like you said, Rachel, it's not
Yes.
about us. It's about what you're giving to your audience and how you can help them. When they see that you can help them, then they're going to become a client or a lead or a customer. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk video in one-to-one communication because I know that's something that you're a strong advocate for. How do you use video in your one-on-one communications and what tips can you give our audience today for that?
Oh, yes. I am a big fan of using video one-on-one. And for a number of people, that's something new because often when you hear about video, it's using videos on social media, it's using videos in ads. And of course, that's going to a number of people. That's kind of the one-to-many model, but it can absolutely work in a one-on-one model. And a couple of ways I use video in that way. I use videos in DMs, in direct messages, and I am typically not the annoying kind of pushy person who's sending out a lot of cold DMs and with the long that's kind of a whole nother conversation. There is a way to send effective DMs. I tend to use videos as part of follow-up strategies after I've met someone initially and I'm following up with them. Even if we haven't met, but there's been some kind of connection, perhaps my followers on Instagram or my connections here on LinkedIn, I'm reaching out to them. And it's that first outreach is not a sales pitch. It shouldn't be a sales pitch. I may make a video where I am just kind of introducing myself. I'll say something funny. I like to think I'm a funny person. I crack my own self up. And so I will say something that I think will put a smile on their face. And I'll give you an example. Ashley, Marissa, I reached out to a guy that's it's been 2 or 3 months. I mean, it was earlier this year, also in Minnesota. And I kind of made the joke, about how cold it was, that if I lived in Minnesota, I would just not go out for probably 5 to 6 months of the year. Now, maybe if I was born there, it would be different, but my native Texan self, I can't always even get my mind around the cold in Minnesota. And so I kind of made a joke about that. And, he when he messaged me back, he was like, you're right. And I'm thinking I need to get to Texas soon. And so there was just this engagement that was just kind of light and getting to know one another before it moved into business. And so, and he also appreciated the video because again, you're even on LinkedIn, you're seeing someone's picture, but that's different from you actually in experiencing them in a video. And let's be honest, some profile pictures are not current. So there's that. So that's one way I use it. I also use video to get speaking gigs. And I got a paid speaking gig a few years ago from including a video in an email. And this was after several months of going back and forth with a decision maker. I did not have his phone number. This was a referral. All I had was his email address. And so we started out emailing. He expressed interest, but it was one of those things as many people experience, many marketers, business owners, those in sales, you're kind of going back and forth. The prospect is expressing interest, but not moving forward or not moving forward enough. And I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a video because I don't know for sure if this guy has really seen me speak. Although I had referenced some videos and he could find some, but I don't think I'd ever, I can't remember for sure. I may have sent him a link or something, but I still wasn't sure that he had looked at.
But he even opened it. Right. Especially today when people are bombarded with emails and messages. we send it out with the grace that someone's going to open it or read it, but it could
Yeah.
end up in their spam folder. So, okay. So what happened next?
Yeah, so I decided to send him a video, not a very long video. That's important as well. You don't, especially with someone you still or developing a relationship with. So the video was maybe a couple of minutes. And I said hello. I said, I know we've been kind of going back and forth. I'd really like to make this happen. He had told me a couple of events that he had in mind for me to speak at. This was actually at a college in the Houston area. And, and I just kind of talked about that. And I did make, some kind of joke about us both being really busy, but, what is it going to take? And I can be kind of animated at times. I sent that email with that video, and I got a response in 24 hours. And he said, Rachel, I love the video. Let's meet. Again, Marissa, this is after about 7 or 8 months. We're talking the better part of a year of going back and forth. And we had a meeting. And of course, this was, pre-COVID. We had an actual in-person meeting shortly after that. And I got a paid speaking gig. And actually, it was a series of events that I spoke at.
Wonderful. So right away, even in this short, so far we've been talking about video for 20 minutes. Some of the takeaways I'm getting, and I want to repeat these for those of you just tuning into our live stream show this morning. Rachel is all about consistency, first of all. So if you're going to do something like a live stream, be consistent with it, right? If you're going to commit to once a week, do it once a week, be consistent. Consistency is key because it takes time for momentum to grow. So that's the first takeaway. Now, second is the idea of using video for one-on-one communications. And I think if I remember correctly, you said, Rachel, don't make that first connection be about selling yourself. Don't make it be, some long DM about what product you have or what it is you want that person to do or buy or, hire you for. Work on just the initial connections in general, create likability. And I think this is common sense, but it's good to talk about. Create likability, create a common interest or a common bond. And then once you have that connection established to some degree, it doesn't have to be intense, but even to some degree, following up with a video message, either follow up wise, meaning, I'll be sending you a video message today, Rachel, after our show, or a video message to further that introduction. Those are great ways to keep the ball rolling in terms of strengthening that connection and moving the needle. And then
Absolutely.
that example you shared about how essentially a video message, just a few minutes long, helped you essentially move the needle from stalled 7 months prior to booked and paid for several speaking gigs is, the proof in the pudding right there. It's awesome.
It is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our last discussion topic here, or point that we'd like to talk about during today's show, is why planning your content, including videos, can make a big difference to your brand and marketing efforts. So let's see. I want to put this back up on the screen and go through it again. So we're talking about video in digital marketing. So many uses, messaging, promotion on social media, meaning stories, reels, shorts, explaining your business or introductions, demos, product introductions, how-to videos, training videos, and live streaming. So how important is it for the planning process when it comes to any sort of videos or video marketing?
It makes a big difference. And I'm being very transparent, Marissa. This is something I still am not as good at as I would like to be, but I'm getting there. I absolutely notice the difference between when I plan content and I do not plan content. And I am a fan of planning your content overall, video just being a part of that content. But it makes a big difference in planning your emails, planning text, if you use mobile marketing, if you use text marketing, planning blogs, whatever content you're sharing, video, perhaps even more so, because there are so many different things you can do with video. It really allows you to be creative, or if you're not the creative person, the creative person or the creative part of your team, there's a lot of opportunity to be creative. And so I really like to plan content out, plan videos out for a pretty good amount of time, because that way it's done. And all you need to do is release it. Or schedule it, if we're talking about social media. And so it is great to plan out your content. And this is something I help clients in doing. You can plan videos out for a week, or you can plan them out for the next quarter. I mean, it really just depends on where you are in your business. I find in most cases, the longer you plan it out, the better, because again, it allows you to automate that more, and you can still make changes. I've gotten people who say, well, what about really staying in the moment and your content reflecting current events? That's fine. I mean, you can always go in and tweak some things if need be. And also you can anticipate certain things. If you're planning for the third quarter, for example, now, well, certain things happen in the third quarter. I mean, we're getting into, the fall, late summer. And so there are certain things that happen then, whether it's with your business in particular, whether it's just kind of in general, back to school happens in the third quarter. And so if that fits in with your brand or with your products and services, then you certainly want to utilize that. Even if it doesn't, I mean, if you're a realtor, if you're in real estate, you could still leverage back to school. I mean, again, it's just a matter of you being creative. And so I think that makes a really big difference in terms of your video, because you can really kind of brainstorm and give some thought to what you want to share in these videos. What is your call to action? The audience, and this is provided that you already know your audience, which I'm really big on. I think what I call the power trifecta of brand and marketing is so important. That's positioning, targeting, and messaging. So hopefully you know who your target market is, who your ideal client, your dream client is. If you don't, I really encourage you to work on that. And that's something we can help you with as well. But provided you know that, you can really think about what you want to say to that audience, what they're going to resonate with, what they like, what they want to see in a video. And then you can determine what kind of videos you want to share. And it can be a good thing to use different types of video. If you're not really big on being in front of the camera, then perhaps you look at other ways to show up in video, for your product or service to show up, for you to share tips and strategies, for you to use a tool like StreamYard to share presentations or what have you. There's all kinds of things you can do in video, but planning it does make a difference.
You just said something, and it kind of made me think we could play a fun game.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're talking about live video, and you mentioned realtors, okay? Planning in the fall. And it right away made me think of a realtor friend. Her name is Dawn McElastic, and she's in Connecticut. I think her married name is Dawn Gagliardi now. But she does these incredible
Hello,
videos.
Dawn, in case you're watching.
Right? Hi, Dawn. I'll make sure to share this link with her. She does really fun videos of her singing. And she came up
I
with a
love
great
it.
she came up with a great video where she's singing to New Kids on the Block as the kind of tune, but she's changing the words to why she should be your realtor, right? So it's like step one, we can have lots of
Wow.
fun. Step two, I'll find a house for you, right? So
I love it.
totally fun and cheesy. So that just led me to think of her when you said the realtor thing. And then it also led me to think about the fact that instead of just doing postings where she takes photos, of the
Mhm.
properties she's selling, she actually does really great video walkthroughs and she puts them on social media. So here's the game. We're going to play a 30-second game. I'm
Okay.
going to name some type of career, right? Like, for instance, realtor. And I want you on the fly to just come up with an idea for a video that they could do that might relate to their business.
Hmm. Okay.
Think you can do it? So, like, for instance, realtor. Okay. They can make videos, touring their home, the homes, right? Instead of just
Mhm.
photos. So I'll just name a profession. We'll try to go fast. We'll do like lightning
Okay.
speed.
Oh, yeah,
You
30
get
seconds.
stuck, I'll chime in. Okay. All right. So we did realtor. How about a baker? What kind of video can a baker do? Where can they put the video?
Oh, wow. A baker should definitely put video on Instagram, Facebook. They could do TikTok. They could do a TikTok of them preparing or baking the cake, like in the beginning, the ingredients. And then they could do, and I'm really thinking TikTok because those are quick videos of
Yeah.
showing like cutting into a really moist,
Ooh.
delicious cake or
Yes.
cheesecake. I mean, that
Yes.
will really get people's attention because people
My
love
mouth is
desserts.
watering. Okay. I love
Exactly.
it. I love it. Okay. So TikTok, like a how-to video almost of them making something and then the result at the end, mouth. Okay, love it. Okay, let me
Yes.
think of another profession. How about it like a director of a school, if their goal, it's a private school for, preschool kids, and their goal is to get the word out about their school and try to get more parents to enroll their kids. What kind of video do you
Hmm.
think that they could create, and where would they put that video?
I would say for something like that, they could do a video of a classroom and of the
Mhm.
students, a good day of the students enjoying being in the classroom, enjoying learning, or perhaps even at an event that they have for the students that
Ooh.
the students are really enjoying. And for parents, you're looking to reach parents more so. I would say Facebook is a
Mhm.
good place. Also, Instagram. Here on LinkedIn, because there's a lot of obviously professionals here, and a lot of professionals and business owners and marketers are parents, and so don't forget about LinkedIn.
I love it. Okay, one more. These are great examples. And this is showing those of you watching right now, listening, it doesn't matter what business you're in, video is an incredible way
Oh
to not
yeah.
only get out your message, but if you pick the right place to put that video and choose the right style of that video, you are going to hit your target demographic. So, okay, maybe one more, maybe two, because I'm having fun with this game. Um, how about how about a business coach? Okay, so someone who coaches people in marketing, or like, yeah, how about like a business coach or like a image coach, someone who helps
I
entrepreneurs.
would say with either of those examples, I'm really big on testimonials. I'm really big on
Ooh.
client feedback. And so you could do an interview with a client, and it doesn't even have to be a long interview, although there is a place for longer interviews as well. I did that with one of my clients. I have a therapist client I worked with on she did my signature brand breakthrough experience. And the interview was about 22, 23 minutes. We took that video and broke it up into smaller videos, about 7 micro videos that were anywhere between about a minute and 4 minutes. And it was just great because she was talking about kind of the before and after, where she was before she came to me, where she was after, the experience she had. That is really powerful when you are really any kind of coach, because your prospects want to know what results you've gotten. They want to hear from your clients. And it's great to get written testimonials as well, but it's even more powerful when you
Mm.
can get them on video, raving about you and talking about the great experience they had with you. And one
Ah,
more that comes to mind, something else
yes.
that popped in my mind. You could do a video, and this could be something that's quick, where I'm seeing a box. You get a box, and either you step into the box, you make a video of you just like putting your foot in the box, putting your arm or elbow in the box. I know this sounds kind of funny, but look kind of awkward. And you could have the message though, we are all about this, or say something like, this doesn't look good, or this looks awkward, because we're all about being outside of the box.
Oh, I like that. So being creative, having fun with words and messaging and images and analogies and just be yourself, I think also is such a key for any video. Like you said, you find
Yeah.
humor in yourself. So when you reach out to further your connections or try to nail down that speaking engagement, you use humor as a way to connect
Mhm.
with people. So I think that's important. Well, that was a fun game. First game I've ever played on our live stream. So thank you for participating and being
Oh, yay.
such a good sport. You've got me thinking video and you've got me in creative mode. So let's dive in. Thank you so much for sharing all your insights today on video. I'm going to have you
Cool.
join me as I share our Engage digital marketing news of the week, if that's cool with you, because this week's news of the week has all to do with, let me find my link here, with our topic of video. So today's digital marketing news of the week is all about video. And I'm going to share some of the same statistics I shared at the start of our show. So basically, right now, digital marketing, the growing trend and the fastest growing trend is using live streaming video in your
Mhm.
marketing. So, to illustrate that fact, I shared this stat earlier, but I'll share it again. LinkedIn Live has grown in popularity by 158% in just the first 3 quarters of 2020. And LinkedIn has also noted that engagement on live videos is exponentially higher than posts with pre recorded videos. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, live videos have an average of 7 times more reactions and 25 times more comments, 24 times more comments. And surprisingly, this is very interesting, Rachel. Michael Stelzner, who is a host of a live streaming, very popular social media podcast, noted that only a mere 3% of marketers are currently using the live stream function on
Mm.
LinkedIn. So
Mhm.
it's grown 158%. Only 3% of marketers are using it. So we believe, and I think it's clear from our talk today, that if you're not live streaming and using this tool, this video tool to move the needle in 2021, you're really missing out and you're going to fall behind and your competitors are going to outshine you. So,
Yeah.
of course, I want to share that Engage Live is a new program that we have just launched this in May. And so, if live streaming is something that you're watching right now and you're thinking you should be doing, hit us up, go to engagelive.com or email me and I'll share my email. And I'd love to give you more information on that program. What do you think about this digital marketing news of the week? I mean, it's live stream or bust, right?
Yeah, well, Marissa, those numbers for LinkedIn Live really reflects video stats overall, and over the past year or so. A benchmark report from Vineyard showed that video in general increased like 135% 2020 over 2019. And
Wow.
so 2020 was huge for video. And it's that's not surprising to me, because more and more people are starting to get the message, that video is not going anywhere and it's beneficial. I would really like to see those numbers grow. Obviously, there's a lot of room for growth with live video on LinkedIn in particular. And it's interesting because I am really glad to hear your friend or your associate Don, the realtor, is using video, because real estate is at the bottom of industries that use video. And I find that surprising because it's like real estate is one of those industries that lends itself to video. I
Yeah.
mean, whether it's residential, it's commercial, why are you not using video to show your properties, to show your happy clients? I mean, I don't completely understand it. If you're in real estate out there, get on it with
Get
video.
on it. You know what? If you're in baking, if you're in real estate, if you're in e-commerce, if you're a coach, a consultant, if you have a tech business and you're trying to get the word out and you want to sponsor your own live stream like Engage does, now is the time because it's moving so fast. The needle is literally going like this. We're like a rocket ship off to space. And if you're not on board, you're going to be left on earth with your ham sandwich going, what happened? Right? Like
Ham
I was doing
sandwich.
so good. What happened? Gosh, Rachel, this was such
Yeah,
a lovely talk. I'm so excited you could share your time and insights with us. Now, we'd like to share your contact information with the audience if that's okay with you. And
sure.
let them know where they can contact and connect with you after today's show. So, if you want to connect with Rachel, maybe you're interested in knowing more about how video can help, or maybe you're in the Houston area and you'd like to know more about SWAG, which stands for what again, Rachel?
Strategic Women Achieve Growth.
Boom. If you'd like to know more about that, here is her LinkedIn. And I always advise you leave her a note, a message, maybe a video message, letting her know where you saw her
Yes.
show, mention Engage. And of course, she'll be way more quick to respond and to connect with you if you let her know that you saw her here or in a replay of this show, which will be available in podcast and webinar form starting tomorrow. And then if you'd like to know more about Swag Strategy Solutions, screenshot this. We'll put up her website. So it's going to be www.swagstrategy.com. What can everybody expect to find there on your website?
Well, you'll find more about what Swag Strategy Solutions offers. Again, at the core of the business and what we do is really help our clients develop breakthrough brands. And as you mentioned in the intro, that is really about breaking through to more clarity. I can't say enough about just being clear about your brand and your brand message. So break through to more clarity, more credibility, more visibility, and that tends to lead to more profitability.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for your time, Rachel. This is all the time we have today. So I'm going to bid you adieu. We did an earlier show. We are playing around with times for our shows, and we thought we'd try before lunch. And as you see in the month of June, our shows will be a little bit earlier than they have been in the past. So make sure if you're watching us right now, especially if you tuned in and you missed most of the show, don't worry, we'll get you the replay tomorrow, but make sure to go to our Facebook page. I don't know why I was going to say that. Our LinkedIn page and follow us on LinkedIn. There we go. That way you can be in the know and know when our next scheduled show will be. Now, if you're tuning in and you have topic suggestions or you'd like more information about Engage, you can email me at marissa.m@engage.com or find me on LinkedIn at LinkedIn/host Marissa Morgan. And also, if you're watching the show and want to connect after the show, leave me a note and let me know that you saw our show. Again, Rachel, thank you so, so much.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so wonderful. And be sure to tune in next Tuesday, June 15th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. A little bit later, Lisa Lieberman Wang will be here and she'll be sharing how to stand out from the crowd and become a truly elite marketer in 2021. She'll be giving a talk on her most recent book. Last but not least, actually, before we go, Miss Rachel, would you want to pop up your book one more time just so everyone can see it and let them know where they can find that book?
Sure. This is my book, Brand Sell Profit, And it's all about kind of connecting the dots between creating an unforgettable brand and a stronger bottom line. And you can find this on Amazon. You can also find it on my website, specifically at swagstrategy.com/BSP, as in Brand Sell Profit book. BSP book. And very quickly, Marissa, I also remembered on the website, there is a freebie. So you can certainly take advantage of that, of the Brand to Profit bundle. That's absolutely free. It is an awesome resource. And that includes video. There is a video tutorial included in that. But you can find that on the website as well.
Awesome. Awesome. I've got that up there. Screenshot that, swagstrategy.com. All right, everybody, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I want to thank you for watching our show. Make sure you connect with Rachel Wilson Thibodeau after this broadcast, and be sure to share the link with friends and colleagues, and share with everybody who you care about why video is a must-have tool for 2021 and beyond. And we'll see you here next Tuesday for our next episode of Digital Marketing Intelligence, Ask the Experts. Have a great weekend, everyone.